Walking through this Wednesday, our friends from AgroLiquid joining us here each and every day here, several times a day. As I mentioned, great to visit with Troy Bancroft, founder and president of AgroLiquid at the Ag PhD Field Day last Thursday in South Dakota. Great to see Troy and a lot of other of our RFD TV and Rural Radio friends here with our Darren and Brian Hefty as well. So it was a great day. If you haven't been there, as Patrick Gotch says, put it on your calendar, third Thursday of July. It'll be set already, the date for next year. All right, from St. John's, Michigan, let's go to Chicago, Illinois. Todd Horwitz joining us again on the day. Todd, 2 days in a row, the AgroLiquid likes you.
I can't wait to go to St. John's, Michigan. Come on. I can't wait for next July. It's too far for me.
Oh, boy, I tell you what. You need to get out to Baltic, South Dakota. You'd enjoy that day, very much so. All right, grain trade here, getting a little bit back today. You call that a dead cat bounce before. I'm not sure that's what you want to call it today, but we are getting a little bit of a bounce.
It's ugly. It's not even a bounce. It's like a limp. Look at our corn is up 3 cents, I think, when I look.
Yeah.
And again, I like corn here. It's got a hold. I mean, we're kind of like at that key decision area of where the money will flow in, or it's gonna push it the other way. And I think we'll hold, but I'm not real thrilled with the rally. I would have actually rather seen a little further selling in the morning and seen the buying come in late. I'm not a big fan of that overnight buying because it usually doesn't relate into and translate into morning buying. It usually translate into morning selling.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it trades. I think soybeans, Mark, were they were higher again, and now they're giving away, and they're only up like 3 cents. They were about 8 or 9 cents this morning when I looked.
Yeah, they're just two and a half higher now, 2 3/4. You're right.
So it's not. But again, part of it can be blamed on if there's a real lack of activity. There's a real lack of interest. It is summer in the markets here, so it's a very quiet trade, and it's very thin. I think we will see better prices. My concern remains in soybeans, and again, that's that $10 level, which we're now substantially away from. Yeah. But other than that, I think that we'll be okay. I like my earlier of the year predictions. I think we're going to get there, but it's a little bit more work than we thought it was going to be.
Exactly right. Yeah, we still have a whole fourth quarter and yet to the third quarter to get through. By the way, soybean deliveries this morning, 567 contracts delivered, puts the total up around 2,000. Do you watch in that kind of thing here at all, day to day or week to week?
Not really, Mark. Honestly, it really comes down to what the markets will tell you everything that's going on around it. And what the markets are saying right now is that soybeans have a little bit of a problem. And hopefully, again, they'll find some buyers will step in here. And I think you're actually starting to see the equities hit 22,000 today, and they're selling off from there now. So maybe some of that money will flow back into the grains, which they came out of in the first place.
Yeah, we were mentioning that, had it on here first. They touched 22,000 just barely, but they've pulled right back. You mentioned yesterday the dollar at 15-month lows. Where do you see that, mid-term here, I guess, the next, 30 days or so?
Well, I had the dollar pegged in my own mind when it was 104 at 94, and we're well below that now.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got a chance to go under 90, which would not be good. Of course, that's one of the things we get to when we get into these currency deals with the Fed and all this stuff. That's kind of their directive, is they want to try to keep that dollar lower to help exports. But we can see it's really not helping exports because we're not getting a big demand for farmers and producers. So that becomes a bigger issue when the dollar is getting hammered and dollar-denominated commodities are not going higher.
Okay. Let's take a look at the wheat trade then and get your thoughts before we take a break. And looking at wheat up, but again, well off its high, up only a half a cent now in Chicago. Same thing there?
Yeah, again, Mark, I wouldn't be surprised to see all grains be red on the day before it's over. I'm not looking for a massive sell-off. I think that, again, you're just seeing overall weakness. There's not enough buying power. Typically the opening of the market, we'd see some more oomph, and there's really not there. Now, we'll see what happens the rest of the day. But again, if we can hold these levels in this neighborhood in wheat and in corn, I think they'll be fine. I think they will rally up. Soybeans, again, we got to watch. It's going to be very careful here. You got to watch $9.40, $10. Those are the key places to watch in my mind.
Very good. Todd Horwitz here, and we are going to take a break. We'll come back and see what he thinks about the livestock trade here on Wednesday. Be right back after this. 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Todd Horwitz, we were just showing in the break there, coming back here, an update here in crude oil, 48.82, over $50 a barrel here just, well, yesterday and late week. I know you watched that as well. What do you think about crude oil?
Well, Mark, you know, I've been short crude and I've been looking for 40. We only got the 42. And the other day I said that if they get over 52, I've got to get out, and it's going higher. Now, of course, we haven't reached there yet. I think what you're going to see, if we see another attempt at a rally, that the frackers will go back to work. They'll start pumping away, and they'll sell futures. So I don't see it going up there. I think it's going to continue to languish here. Now, whether it'll go down as fast as I wanted to, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. But I do think we're going to go lower. I think that the manipulation from OPEC trying to, cut down supplies, and part of the problems in Venezuela, which has cut some of the supply as well, and also cut some of the exports, that's created a little bit of a problem. I think that disappears. I think we see oil start to head back down towards, probably 45, but I think eventually we do get 40 before we turn around. Very
good. All right, Todd Horwitz looking there at the outside markets. Now, livestock here, cattle, beef trade overall. We'll get to pork in a minute, but your thoughts in the beef?
Beef, I'm a big fan of fat cattle of October. I think that that 112 to me was a key spot. We talked about 112 week after week. It finally got here, and I think now I'm looking to be a buyer, and I think we see better prices. Again, I don't think it's not going to be easy. We're not going up, straight up tomorrow, but we're going to have, I think, a nice trending market that will start to work our way higher. I think feeders still have a little bit of work to do on the downside. I know we had that big spike up yesterday, late in the day, and once they get going, they got them up, I think, $3.50 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're still looking. I'm still watching August. I'm still looking for about 140 in August before it's all done. We've still got 29 days before that comes off the board. So I think we'll see 140 there. So I think, overall, I'm a player, and I like both fat and feeder, but feeder has to do a little bit more work for me to want to get interested in buying it myself.
Very good. And that leaves us looking at that. I'll get the numbers, those of you listening in and tuning in. Hog futures here on the day. Looking at the hog complex, October hogs at their lowest since late April, hit their close yesterday. Talk about that complex there, still above $80 though in the August.
Yeah, I think that August is going to give way here though. We've seen the spread widen, and I think that the spread is going to narrow, but I don't think it's going to narrow with October. I think it's going to narrow with August coming down. Now, we only got 12 days here, so that's another spot that comes in here. I think that you're going to start to see some selling work in here, and I think this formation is going to tighten up a little bit. And then I think somewhere in these lower levels in October and December are probably relatively good areas to look at. I just need to see a little bit more work, and I want to see when they become the really active contract, and then I can make a better decision based on those. But overall, I like the entire space. I think that money will flow in here from the outside markets once we start to see some market selling.
Very good. Todd, thanks for your time today, as always. Look forward to keeping in touch. You bet. Thank you. Todd Horwitz, real quick here, some live cattle, feeder cattle, hog numbers on the day. Live cattle futures trying to hold on. Most of you advanced yesterday. October up 10. Feeder cattle, real quick, run through these. The October down 10 points for feeder cattle and hog futures. The October contract there currently is up 25. Janet, that's up to date.
All right. Thank you once again.
Sure,
Mark.
you bet.